Hello and welcome to FatbossTV. Today we're looking at the Windlord Mel'Jarak encounter on the Mr. Pandaria beta in the Heart of Fear instance.
Yes, indeed. This fight is actually really quite cool. It's a bit different.
It's a bit different. I mean, it's all about ad control. There's lots of fucking ads. And yeah, it's quite fun.
Yes.
Something new. So to start off, we are going to talk about the ads, and there is 3 different groups of ads. And what you need to know, what's most important about them, is that they have a shared health pool. So if you kill one particular ad within that group of ads, then that group of ads will all die.
Yeah. And the first set of ads that we're going to talk about is the Amber Trappers. Now, the Amber Trappers have an ability called Amber Prison, and this basically turns a player into like a crystal of amber, and all players within 2 yards of that player. Now, the only way that you can free that person is by going up to them and clicking on them, but then you also get a debuff that makes it so you can't free anyone else for a very long time.
Yeah, so it's about 45 seconds-ish. You need to make sure that you keep your eyes open and see who has the debuff and who can't actually free.
And of course, you can't stand on top of each other with that, because you all get Amber Prison. So if that ad is up, don't stand on top of each other.
Yeah, so you need to make sure you're spread out most of the time. Also, these Amber Trappers will put a debuff on you that it kind of works the same way that the flames work on the Ragnaros transitions, what the ads put on you, where essentially you need to run away with it and it will spawn little circles on the floor, and when you stand in the circles they do damage. However, if you don't move, then the circles don't spawn. However, you have a stacking buff on you. And it starts off on 5 stacks, and the more you move, the quicker it'll drop. And the more stacks it has, the more damage you take. It's just a dot. Right. So you need to make sure that you're constantly, as soon as you get that you move immediately. Otherwise, you're going to take a large amount of damage. So that's it for the Amber Trappers. We're now going to talk about the Battle Menders. And the Battle Menders are pretty simple. They'll do an ability called Mending, which heals all the mobs. And I think it also includes the boss. It will heal everything for 15% of their max health. This can be interrupted, however, so it's not too much of a problem. Just make sure you interrupt it. They'll also cast something called Quickening, and this will increase the attack speed and damage of all mobs, so that's all the Battle Menders, everything, by 25%. So you need to make sure that you dispel that. It's a magical debuff.
Right,
so
yeah.
You just dispel it. Pretty simple.
And also the last one is called the Blade Masters. Now what they will do is they'll target a single player and strike them in unison, each for 150k. And that's just unavoidable, really.
Yeah, you can't really do anything about it. And there's 3 of them, so if they all target the same player, which they do, that player will get hit for 450k, which will one-shot you.
Yeah.
So the way that you counter that is that at the start of the encounter, there's 4 weapon racks around the room. Now, every time you click on the weapon rack, it will despawn, and you'll be given an extra action button, which is a spear. And you throw the spear at one of the ads, and it will stun them for 50 seconds. So that's 4 weapon racks, which means 4 spears, which means 4 players, each being able to stun an ad for 50 seconds. Which is, that's the whole point in the encounter. You've got to CC them. And the spear has no diminishing returns. It's about 2 or 3 second cast, so you can keep chain stunning the ads. However, any damage done to that ad will kill it, but obviously because of the shared health pool, it doesn't count as a direct hit, so the damage that's being done to them through the shared health pool doesn't count, so they can die within the stun. It's, you know, that's how you deal with it. And at the start of the fight is where you want to decide which ads you want to stun. Now, we decided to stun the 2 Blade Masters, so we only had 1 Blade Master up, and that was because you wanted, you know, the strike that they do, the charge. If 2 of them are charging, it's going to do a lot of damage. If 3 of them are charging, they're going to one-hit. So we decided to go safe and go with 1. And we also decided to CC 2 of the Battle Menders, so we only had to interrupt 1 mending rather than 3 mending.
Yeah.
Which means we had 3 Amber Trappers up, which meant everyone was getting trapped a lot, and you had to run away that debuff a lot. Which means we only had 1 Blade Master up, which is, you know, 1 charge, which is very easy to heal. And we had 1 Mender that needed to be interrupted, which was fine.
Yeah.
You could do it whichever way you wanted, but that's personally what we chose to do. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could stun all the Amber Trappers or whatever. I mean, you literally could do whatever you wanted, and we did try that out. We thought it was best with the stun on 2 Blade Masters and the stun on 2 Battle Menders. So how it works on the pool, you make sure that you pre-cast your CC, so all the ads are CC'd, the ones that you've marked up, and then the tanks need to try and pick up all the ads. And obviously, because there's a lot of ads and you need to be careful on your AoE, because otherwise you're just going to break the stuns, it's important that you assign what tank to pick up what. And we had 1 tank pick up the boss and 1 Battle Mender, and we had the other tank pick up the 3 Amber Trappers and 1 of the Blade Masters.
Yeah.
Then during the fight, you basically need to assign the DPS on one particular type of mob. So you could have it, I mean, at the end of the day, multi-dotters are going to rape here, because you can just dot the shit out of everything. But really what you want to do is single target down one particular type of mob. And we chose the Battle Menders, then the Amber Trappers, then the Blade Masters.
However, when a group of ads die, like of a certain type of ads, the boss gains a 50% damage increase, and that stacks as well. So if you do kill off like 2 sets or 3 sets, then he's going to have a 150% damage increase, which is not very nice. And also you will only be able to CC 2 ads rather than 4.
That's after a group of ads has died.
Yeah.
And after 2 groups of ads have died, you can no longer use the spear at all. It won't work. It'll immediately be dispelled by the boss. Now, apart from the ads doing all that shit, the boss will also do certain abilities. He'll do something called Rain of Blades, which is just AoE damage on the raid, which needs to be healed up. There's nothing you can really do about that. He'll also do something called Whirling Blade, and this will hurl a blade at a random player, dealing damage to that person and any player stood in the path of it. So you need to make sure that you're kind of spread out in a circle around the boss.
Yeah, like a semicircle.
So you don't actually all get hit by the blade at the same time, because it does do a large amount of damage. And that's more or less it. I mean, the way that we did it is that we killed the Menders first, we then killed the Trappers, and then we killed the Blade Masters. And then it's pretty much tank and spank, because all the abilities go out the window. But like we say, we did try different ways of doing it, and there are different ways of doing it, but we personally believe this one's the best.
So that's pretty much it, really, isn't it? So
yeah, it's a good fight.
It's a good fight. It's good fun. So if you did like this, then do give us a like. It does help us out substantially, and make sure that you comment, rate, and subscribe.
And if you'd like to see more FatBoss videos, such as FatBoss Weekly, or more of our Mr. Pandaria boss videos, then make sure you click up on the annotations you see on your screen now.
Thank you all.